running out of time. Patience than a penny hoe.
Go over here and empty your pockets. I don't do that. In my prison, you do what I tell you. Get over here.
He's gonna get this. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
Victory, all on my neck, Mr. T. Victory, zombie gang rapping that NYC. Victory, ice on my neck like a little weak. We run like a paraclete. It's on earth, but it's where I be. Money over on my headstone. Here lies young getting paid, but never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. Zombie gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on a headstone. Too late, you already there. Imagine when you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream. Cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda set the standards in the tear down.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Standing by for the call from venerable Lambeau Field, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back. Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Hello again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, partner, I think we can safely sum up the goal of this final week of the preseason with 3 simple words. Don't get hurt.
And make sure you follow that mantra, okay? We cannot have you hurt going into the season, but you're exactly right. Starters will play very little, if at all, in this game. A lot of guys fighting to make the roster because after this game's over, we get down to the 53-man number, and guys will be fighting like mad to be included in it.
Two teams that have met at least twice a year since 1932. The Lions and Packers underway from Lambeau. Now it's Wilson. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And his arm strength is often described as out of this world, and I've seen some throws out of him that are just really off the charts. But sometimes he relied on his arm so much his footwork got in the way, led to some inconsistency. But I've loved watching him evolve as a quarterback. He gets better and better each year.
Stafford on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 72 yards. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, A long touchdown pass into the end zone. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the poster boys for persistence and belief in self. Because coming out of high school, he had 0 scholarship offers in the D1 level. Went to a junior college, went to Cal, and just blew up there. And then, of course, is a first-round draft pick, but a lot lower than what he expected in the first round, and then had to sit behind Brett Favre for a few years in Green Bay before getting his shot. Now he's probably one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen come down the pipe.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Yeah, Liz. Wide left. Oko, over here. Zoom. Hey, check 26.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That goes for a gain of 31.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Hey, check 26. Hey, check 26.
Now Rodgers. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. On first down, Abdullah. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 50, Stafford. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Let's go! Blue line it!
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now let's go! Blue line it!
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he's got a man open. That's Marshall. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now let's go! Green 30.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down, Phil.
A second down run for Abdullah. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on first down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. They'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front, giving him at least a stalemate in order to find that space?
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't it? Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes our score 17-0. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Harris now to throw on second down. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. By the way, as we expected, most of the starting units out here in the second quarter. So get your 2 deep, your 3 deep, your 4 deep ready for this one.
If you have a particular favorite who wasn't a high draft pick or is an undrafted free agent trying to make the team, this is the time to watch him play and give it his best shot. Because most of the starters, you're exactly right, they'll be out of the game watching the rest of the way.
Off play action. Harris. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And Detroit getting set to go now. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He goes underneath to Abdullah. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hines. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A dump off for Abdullah. And he is going to lose yardage here. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 33. And his kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be taken about the 12. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
A final shot before break. Harris, he's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
A deep ball for Dotson. That's going to be caught. It's a big play that time for the Packers. And even 40 yards. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Back to throw. Harris. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. It's their quarterback taking it in. And the Packers get a score closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's Abdullah looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Sometimes luck is all you need. That was not even the intended receiver on that play.
Well, Johnny on the spot, though.
Yeah, and it turned into a big play for those guys on offense. They'll take it each and every time.
Here we go.
Now a give. This is Abdullah. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To set up the throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hines. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone.
Let's go.
They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On 3rd down, it's Wilson. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will swell the lead to 16. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Here's Harris throwing on first down. And this one's incomplete. Hey, a sidebar worth noting is that preseason cuts have changed. So week 3 that we're in right now, the preseason, I think, what'd you say, the roster's going to stay at 90 instead of going down to 75 this year?
That's exactly right, Brandon, because in the past, just what you said, this game here, at the end of week 3, or game 3, you would cut the roster down to 75 and play game 4 just like that. In this case now, though, they're going to be able to keep guys all the way through. So guys who would normally not have a chance to finish out the preseason, they'll get that chance now and get more opportunities to get on tape.
Now he's flushed out right. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney.
Harris on 3rd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play for the Pack on 3rd. 42 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Detroit!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56.
To throw is Harris. Looking to throw on 2nd down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Gun!
Now Harris from the gun on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that will cut the lead down to 13. So that gets them a little closer, but clearly field goals are not going to be enough to win this game, at least not this deep into it.
Yeah, agreed if this were the 2nd quarter. But since we're in the 4th, still 2 scores down, the question would be, did the field goal do much for you? But we have to admit, from the time we've been calling these games, how fast we've seen teams play, there's still a possibility, right?
Madden moves in a hurry.
Yes, it does.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get free, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Time for a break. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. A handoff to Abdullah. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, We're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
Set. 3-19.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the